When we're going to use it in conjunction with this long line, you know I put those, I think I put 3 knots down it, okay?
Yeah.
They're there for this reason. When you're using it in conjunction with this, you will unclip that from the middle ring and pass it through the bit that the dog would wear. Pull it through until it's pretty much the same. And then, so we're still wearing it, and now what we do is we connect that, we pop that over the red line, and it will run to a knot. So we can do all of the things that we were doing before, but we can do it on the line. And if I'm wearing it and we got it to the first knot, it'll give her about 3 meters or so. If that's all going really well, we go the other side of that knot, and then it will run to the next. It will run to the next knot. So that'll give her about another 1.5 meters.
Right.
You don't want to accidentally check your dog, so be careful that you don't overthrow it. I thought I put another knot in, maybe I didn't. Right, you probably don't need another knot, because if she was able to pick up too much speed, you're going to end up on your back.
Yeah, yeah.
So these 2 knots are, and you go round the park like this. So you would deliberately go to the park like this. If everything was going well and you were feeling super confident, bearing in mind you do not want to end up having an incident with your dog relying on a third party, so you always need to bear that in mind. If everything's going extraordinarily well, you can disconnect from that, and now we can throw it any distance we like. So does that make sense?
It does, but when you're walking through the park, you've got a long lead trailing you.
So what?
No, I'm just asking. That's okay. Yeah.
Because there might be there'll be occasions, because you don't want to. This is not a long-term solution. This is your leg up breathing space for the next week or 2, maybe a month if you needed to.
Right.
Where you need to frequent places where there are lots of dogs. And now she's not focusing on the dogs because you're doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of fuzzes up this sensation of being lead reactive.
Yeah.
Because she's on this, and it's kind of the lead, but it's kind of not the lead because of what you're doing with it, and it can start to sort of dilute this leash reactivity.
Right.
Because you're able to do other things, which you can't do on a short leash. Even this long short leash, you can't be throwing stuff around, because even if I threw it where you are, there's going to be a yank and a tug. And once you start yanking, tugging and restraining reactive dogs, they will become more reactive unless you're somebody, a brood, that's going to poleaxe them, right? So people poleaxe them and produce a result, or they'll stick a pinch collar on and they'll produce such a negative impact on the dog. We're trying to break that reactivity down by being in the presence of dogs and giving her other things to do.
Yeah.
So that she's no longer focusing on the dogs. And then you fuzzy that up again, because that's all been going well. You pop her on the lead and you make sure you're walking by dogs and stuff. So there's work, you know, it's all the stuff we've done ourselves, but there's work for you to do, because you have to assimilate that training. It don't matter how good she is for me, how good she is for Tom.
Yeah.
You know, the end result, for it to be a success for you guys together as a team, it needs to work for you. So you've got to go and practice this stuff yourself, really. You know, this level of focus and attention, if you're doing all the things right, this is what you will achieve. Because the other thing that we'll mention now, because we haven't kind of mentioned it before, is if you're able to take her out enough in the day, which is twice a day for a dog like this,
Yeah.
you shouldn't really be feeding her anything at home. You need a decent bag. All of her daily food requirements are in that bag, and it's fed on those 2 walks. Primarily when she's off lead, although you're off lead, initially it's going to be off lead, but on the long line.
So when you're throwing the food, you're not. Are you blowing the whistle then throwing the food?
Most of the time, but there's one other way we use the food which we haven't shown you now, which is a way which centres the dog much more. I might take that off because I don't need this on. That was purely for you.
Of course.
So I'm going to take that off. There's another way you use the food where she has unexpected finds around you while you're walking. So we'll end up back here, but what I want you to do is we'll go for a walk, you, me and the dog, but you're going to be behind.
Okay,
All right? So I'm not throwing food at the moment, but the dog will be more centred. She won't be pushing off like she used to with you. So, actually I'll walk around you, so you're filming nothing at the moment. You stand still, just follow me and I'm going to have to show you a different way. So I've thrown that other piece over there that she hasn't seen. And as I walk into that area, she sniffs, she smells it, scents it, and she has a find. That's why as I'm moving around, and you'll get naturally occurring times where you can do this on a walk, because she'll be over there, she'll be having a random sniff while you're walking. At that moment, you throw a piece of food, throw a piece of food away that she hasn't seen. So I've got a couple of bits around here. So you throw a piece, so you're out on your walk, she's having a sniff on a tree or whatever over there, or a bird. You throw a piece of food forward. The Royal Canin holds more scent than the freeze dried, although she's picked that one up there. So that would be a random sniff. I've thrown another piece forward. There's absolutely a reason why you do this. I like to work with dogs' natural states of mind, the nature of a dog. Right, so the nature of a dog is when you go out for you're going out for a nice walk, you're just taking the dog out for a walk. The natural mental state for some dogs, most dogs, is they're either going out hunting or they're going out on patrol. You drifted into, with her, it was a state of mind, you were going out on patrol, and she says, who the hell are you? Or, what, you know, I'm going to bark at you.
Yeah.
All right? So she was on patrol. If she's out, if you can get that turned on its head, that she goes out now hunting, then the patrol bit drops right down the agenda. But you have to satisfy that need in a dog, because generally when you're going out with a dog, they are hunting anyway. they're always hunting, and if you don't satisfy that hunting, they're hunting for stuff that's got nothing to do with you, and it makes the dog gradually more and more independent minded, because you're no longer a team. She's gone off, you take her to the park, she just goes off hunting, or she hangs out with you. Unfortunately, she was in the patrol state of mind.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to acknowledge that dogs are dogs and we're people. So their mentality when they're out on a walk is different to your mentality. So you have to satisfy the mentality of a dog. And for most pet owners, having a dog that's going out on patrol is a disaster. So you don't want a patrol dog if you've got a pet dog. You want a dog where you've generated this hunting. And you're satisfying that with the food. You can satisfy it with a toy as well. Yeah. She was waiting for me to say yeah.
She's not done that before.